family believes in the Kardashian curse.
What I don't like about the narrative is that the blame is on us. Like, I think that they need to put the men need to take that responsibility.
You also have 2 NBA championships, a Super Bowl. What else? I mean, all these things that have,
of course, factually,
you can go down the factual successes of all the men.
Scott, do you feel like you have a Kardashian curse?
You ready for me to get this curse off my back?
Yeah. Wait, what curse?
The Kardashian curse.
There's a curse?
Anybody that's dated a Kardashian, including Rob, that's a boy.
No way. I've never heard about this before, and I think Scott is going crazy.
The cards talk about
the Kardashians are cursed by witches. We need to talk about this. In 1809, the Kardashians' great-great-great-great-grandmother, Kekel Kardashian, had just given birth at 19. She wanted the best for her baby girl, so she went to the local town witches and asked for not only her baby, but for all future female generations of the Kardashians to have fame, power, and wealth. Now, the witches granted this wish, but at a cost. In order for the Kardashians to keep the fame they had been given, they needed to lure men into their life so the spirits of past witches could steal their energy and happiness. So now let's flash forward to these Kardashians, who, by the way, got famous out of nowhere. In order for the Kardashians to keep their fame, they had to lure many men into their lives, which explains the many exes of the Kardashians.
Dating Kylie Jenner is going to ruin Timothée Chalamet's career. He's gonna lose respect in the industry because nobody has respect for the Kardashians in the industry. They're trying to push their way in, but they're not respected because they don't have any talent.
Timothée Chalamet just had what people are calling a full-on meltdown after losing at the Oscars to Michael B. Jordan, and the internet is absolutely eating it up. A lot of people had been saying for a while that ever since he got pulled into the Kardashian world, it was only a matter of time before things started going sideways, but nobody expected it to hit this fast. Since getting with Kylie, fans have been saying his image has taken a serious hit. Some are even clowning him for stepping into rap and acting like he's trying way too hard to keep up with Travis Scott. And now this Oscars moment has people saying he's completely spiraling. And if that wasn't messy enough, clips are now blowing up online showing Kylie and Timothy's sister looking awkward and tense at the ceremony. Now here's where it gets even messier. There were already rumors floating around that Timothee's family was never fully on board with this relationship, and now things have gone completely off the rails. To make it worse, a woman being described online as his alleged side chick, who also has an OnlyFans presence, just did an exclusive with the Daily Mail and supposedly spilled all the tea about him allegedly cheating on Kylie the whole time. Girl, people already knew this situation looked shaky, but nobody thought it was this chaotic. And the timing makes it 10 times more humiliating. The fact that all of this starts blowing up right after he loses the Oscar to Michael B. Jordan has the internet calling this a full public collapse. Meanwhile, Michael just made history as only the 6th Black actor to ever win Best Actor. And before that happened, a lot of people were convinced Timothée had it in the bag. Honestly, Timothée seemed to believe that too, because this man had been everywhere doing interviews and pushing hard, like that trophy was already his. But when things didn't go his way, people quickly noticed he was not handling it smoothly at all. After the Oscars aired, multiple clips started going viral all over social media, and one of the biggest ones allegedly shows him warning his sister Pauline not to start any drama with Kylie. And once people saw that, they knew this night was way messier than it looked on camera. Another clip that had people talking showed him allegedly telling Kylie just how much he hated the Oscars. And the wild part is, this was supposedly right after Michael gave his acceptance speech. Timothée didn't even wait until he got home to start unraveling, and honestly, you could tell that loss hit him hard. Just imagine thinking you're about to win one of the biggest awards in Hollywood because everybody online keeps hyping you up, only for somebody else to come in and snatch it at the last second. Yikes, that is brutal. These rumors really took off after a lip reader named Nicola Hickling started breaking down some of the viral videos of Timothée and Kylie from the night. And this isn't even the first time she's gone viral over them either. Nicola had previously done a lip reading of Kylie and Timothy's conversations at the Golden Globes back in January, and a lot of people said she was surprisingly accurate. So once these new clips started making rounds, people immediately brought her back in, and girl, she absolutely gave the internet something to talk about. According to Nicola, one of the most talked about moments happened right after Michael B. Jordan's name was announced, and Timothée allegedly leaned over to Kylie looking completely irritated. She claimed he appeared to say something along the lines of how much he hated the Oscars, and once that detail got out, social media went crazy. People instantly started dragging him and saying he looked bitter, pressed, and way too emotional over the loss. And honestly, the internet has not been letting up ever since. A lot of people are saying he walked into that night fully expecting to leave with the trophy, which only made his reaction look even worse once things didn't go his way. Instead of brushing it off and keeping it cute for the cameras, folks think he let the disappointment show all over his face. And now every little moment from that night is getting picked apart like crazy. Then things got even more awkward when attention shifted to Kylie and Pauline because viewers started noticing what looked like some low-key tension between them too. So now people aren't just talking about the Oscar loss anymore, they're also side-eyeing the family drama that may have been brewing behind the scenes the whole night. The first viral moment came from a clip showing Timothée sitting front row at the Oscars, looking visibly irritated before he suddenly noticed the camera was on him. The second he caught it, he quickly forced a smile and tried to play it off, but according to lip reader Nicola Hickling, he turned to Kylie and said, "I hate this." Kylie allegedly replied, "We're all right." Okay. And Timothée supposedly answered back, "Yeah, I hope so." If that reading is accurate, then that man was definitely not having a good night. Then there was the moment with his sister Pauline, and this one had people side-eyeing even harder. According to Nicola, Timothée asked Pauline, "Where are you sitting?" And she pointed to her seat. Kylie then said, "Hi." And after that, Timothée and Pauline posed for a photo together like everything was cool for the cameras. But once that quick public moment passed, things allegedly got a little more telling behind the scenes. Nicola claims Timothée then asked, "How are you doing?" before quietly whispering, "Could you go easy on her?" Pauline allegedly responded, "Okay," and Timothée supposedly repeated, "I want you to go easy on her." That detail alone had the internet going wild because a lot of people took it as proof there may already be tension between Kylie and his family. And of course, once he lost, social media wasted no time clowning him, with some people joking that dating a Kardashian Jenner may have brought him some seriously bad luck. And once the internet caught on to all of that, it was game over for him. People on social media started dragging Timothée left and right, saying he looked way too confident going into the ceremony and way too shaken once things didn't go his way. A lot of viewers said the energy completely shifted the second he realized that Oscar was not coming home with him. And now every expression, every whisper, and every awkward interaction from that night is being treated like evidence. What made it even worse is that people weren't just talking about the loss itself, they were also piling on because of everything already surrounding his relationship with Kylie. For months, folks have been saying that ever since he got tied up in that world, his image has started looking a little more chaotic, a little less polished, and a lot more messy. So when this Oscars moment happened, people didn't see it as just one bad night. They saw it as another sign that things might really be falling apart behind the scenes. And sadly for him, the internet loves a downfall story, especially when the drama starts stacking up all at once. At this point, people online are saying the so-called Kardashian curse has struck again. And Timothée is the latest name getting added to the list. A lot of folks are joking that after everything that happened, it's hard not to side-eye the pattern. And what makes this even more painful is that so much money was reportedly poured into promoting the movie and pushing that Oscar campaign, only for everything to fall apart after one badly received comment about the opera and ballet world. That one remark allegedly opened the floodgates. And after that, everybody and their mama had something to say about him. Even Doja Cat ended up weighing in, which only made the internet pile on even louder. And as if the loss itself wasn't already enough, Timothée kept catching strays throughout the entire Oscar night.
Hey, by the way, opera is 400 years old. Ballet is 500 years old. Somebody named Timothée Chalamet had the nerve, big guy, by the way, had the nerve to say on camera that nobody cares about it. I'm sure you can walk into an opera theater right now, seats will be filled out, and nobody's saying a word as the performance is going because everybody has that much respect for it. There is an etiquette around opera. There is etiquette around ballet. It's amazing. It's an amazing theater medium. It's fucking beautiful. And people go there every day to the dance studio. Dancers show up 8 a.m., 6 a.m., whatever. They show up and they bleed every single day just because they have respect for it. They love it. They love what they do. It doesn't matter if the industry is having a tough time at any time, which a lot of industries have a tough time. Your industry has a tough time. My industry has a tough time. Doesn't mean people don't care about it. People care. The dancers care. The singers care. The audience cares. There's still an audience. You show up in a nice outfit, you sit the and shut the up. That's the usual etiquette around those things. Maybe learn something from that.
From jokes by the host to moments tied to the performance lineup and the appearance of a legendary ballerina, people were reading every little thing as shade aimed straight at him. It turned into a complete disaster.
Security is extremely tight tonight. I just gotta mention that, yeah. I'm told there's concerns about attacks from both the opera and ballet communities. They're just mad you left out jazz.
Now, if you've been online long enough, then you already know people have been talking for years about the infamous Kardashian-Jenner curse. It sounds wild, sure. But the reason it keeps coming up is because fans swear that every man who gets involved with that family ends up leaving the situation looking completely different and not always in a good way. And that's exactly why people have been connecting Timothée's recent mess to that same so-called curse. Because once you really look at how fast public opinion has shifted around him, it's honestly kind of wild. Not too long ago, he was being treated like Hollywood's golden boy, artsy, mysterious, untouchable. But now, the internet has him looking like just another celebrity caught up in awkward drama, messy headlines, and nonstop embarrassment. That's what makes this whole thing hit even harder. People aren't just reacting to one Oscar loss, they're reacting to what they see as a full image collapse happening in real time. One minute he's being hyped as the favorite to win, and the next minute he's trending for alleged lip-reading drama, family tension, relationship rumors, and getting clowned across social media. That kind of switch-up is brutal, and once the internet smells weakness, they do not let go. And if we're being real, a lot of people think this might only be the beginning of the mess. Because once cheating and rumors, public awkwardness, and behind-the-scenes tension all start landing at the same time, things can spiral fast. So now everybody is watching to see whether Timothée and Kylie can keep pretending everything is cool, or if this whole situation is about to blow up even more. I mean, did people already forget what happened with Lamar Odom? Before getting involved with Khloe back in 2009, Lamar was seriously on top of his game with the Lakers. He was fresh off back-to-back championships, putting up strong numbers, and looking like one of the most reliable players in the league. But after that relationship moved fast and they got married, everything started going downhill in a very public way. From there, his personal life became the main headline instead of his basketball career. There were cheating scandals, serious struggles with substance use, and in 2015, he faced a life-threatening medical emergency at a brothel. His NBA career never really recovered after that, and the glory days were basically over. Khloe even reportedly paused their divorce at one point to help handle his medical situation, but by then, the damage had already been done. Then came Tristan Thompson, Khloe's child's father, and people say the same pattern showed up all over again. Before Khloe, Tristan was known as a tough, hard-working Cleveland Cavalier who played defense, grabbed boards, and helped the team win that 2016 championship. But after getting with her, it felt like his personal scandals completely took over his image. Suddenly, the cheating drama became bigger than anything he was doing on the court. His performance took a hit, and since then, he's mostly been known for bouncing from team to team and staying in messy headlines. And somehow, the list still doesn't stop there. Khloe was also linked to James Harden in 2015, and a lot of people online swear things got rocky for him too after that situation. Before all that relationship drama, James Harden was out here looking unstoppable. He was one of the biggest stars in the league, dropping huge numbers, collecting accolades, and building a reputation as one of the most dangerous scorers in basketball. But once he got linked to Khloe, people started saying the focus around him shifted fast, and not in a good way. Instead of just talking about his game, suddenly the headlines were packed with gossip, rumors, and non-stop relationship chatter. And even though James still had success after that, a lot of fans swear that was around the time things started getting a little more chaotic around his image. The minute he stepped into that Kardashian orbit, people started watching him differently. And ever since then, his career has had that weird cloud hanging over it in the eyes of a lot of fans. And if you think that's where the pattern ends, not even close. Because once people started putting the pieces together, they began looking at every man tied to that family and noticing the same kind of story over and over again. Success first, then chaos right after. That's exactly why Timothée getting dragged this hard has people saying he might just be the newest victim on the list. Before getting tied up in that situation, James Harden was looking like an absolute monster on the court. He was in MVP conversations, carrying the Rockets, and helping lead them deep into the playoffs all the way to the Western Conference Finals. But during that fling, he later made comments suggesting it was one of the worst periods of his life. And once people heard that, they immediately added his name to the so-called curse conversation. Then, of course, people always bring up Kim because she's probably the one most often linked to these kinds of career decline theories. First, there was Chris Humphries, Kim's famously short-lived 72-day husband back in 2011. Before all that reality TV madness, he was a solid NBA forward, putting up respectable points and rebounds. But after that relationship blew up in public, people stopped seeing him as an athlete first and started seeing him as that reality TV guy instead. His numbers dipped. He bounced around to multiple teams and eventually retired without much noise in 2017. Then there's Kanye West, and his situation is always one of the biggest examples people bring up. Before Kim, he was untouchable in music, dropping classic albums, dominating fashion conversations, and building Yeezy into a giant brand. But after they got together, his public life became way more chaotic, with repeated controversies, serious personal struggles, a hospitalization in 2016, a divorce in 2022, and major financial fallout that reportedly cost him billions. And Scott Disick got pulled into this conversation too, after his relationship with Kourtney. Before that, he was known as a flashy party guy who stayed around major events, had industry buzz, and even landed modeling opportunities. But once Scott got deeper into that relationship, his name started becoming attached to something way darker and way messier. Instead of just being seen as this rich, wild socialite, he became known for nonstop chaos, public arguments, substance issues, rehab stays, and one scandal after another. His whole image shifted from fun bad boy to full-blown train wreck, and people have never really let him shake that reputation.
All right, Ken, you ready for me to get this curse off my back?
Yeah. Wait, what curse?
The Kardashian curse.
There's a curse?
Anybody that's dated a Kardashian, including Rob, that's a boy, has gotten cursed. After this last guy, I had to take matters into my own hands, and I found somebody who does, the card reading and really gets to the bottom of curses, so I was like, Kendall, come with me, and let's figure this out and see if this is real or not. There's something going on in the water.
There's no way. I've never heard about this before, and I think Scott is going crazy.
So what would you like me to look at first?
I feel like some curse has been put upon me, along with a lot of other men that I'm close with.
Okay.
And honestly, that's the part that keeps making this Kardashian-Jenner curse theory stay alive online. Because whether people fully believe in it or not, the pattern is what keeps feeding it. Time after time, fans point to these men and say they all seem to enter those relationships one way: successful, confident, thriving, and then somehow leave looking way more stressed, publicly embarrassed, or completely off track. So now with Timothée, people are doing exactly what they always do: lining up the timeline, checking the vibes, and asking if his fall from polished Hollywood heartthrob to internet punchline is just the latest chapter in the same messy pattern. And after this Oscar disaster, those jokes are only getting louder. But after getting deeper into that relationship, Scott's life reportedly started going completely off the rails. He was dealing with addiction struggles, heartbreaking family losses, and multiple rehab stays related to alcohol and substance issues. Things got so chaotic around him that even some people online started throwing around wild theories, with one psychic even claiming the family's energy was somehow blocking his path. Now, whether you believe that part or not, the internet definitely ran with it. And trust, there are way more names people bring up when they talk about this so-called curse, way too many to fit into one video. Honestly, that topic alone could take up an entire separate breakdown, because once people start listing examples, it just keeps going and going. But now, a lot of people believe Timothée is the newest name being added to that list, and they're using his Oscars loss as the latest sign that things may already be starting to unravel for him, And remember what I said earlier about those breakup rumors between him and Kylie after everything that allegedly went down at the Oscars? Well, now those whispers are starting to look even messier because according to new gossip making rounds online, a woman named Sarana recently did an exclusive with the Daily Mail and made some explosive claims about Timothée allegedly being involved with her while he was still with Kylie. She claimed their connection started back in January 2020 after she slid into his DMs when she saw him in The King. And once that detail hit the blogs, people immediately started saying this whole situation may be even uglier than anyone thought. So, according to her, things didn't even take off right away. She claims he didn't respond at first, and it actually took months before he finally acknowledged her message by liking it. But once that door opened, she says they started talking more, exchanged numbers, and eventually decided to meet up at a friend's place in Santa Monica. That's where she alleges things turned physical, with her saying he was the one who made the first move. From there, she claims this situation kept going for a long time, all the way up until around June 2022. That's when she says she finally opened up and admitted she had real feelings for him. And according to her, he told her he felt the same way. Now, that's where it starts getting even more complicated, because she says everything continued into 2023, right up until the moment he was publicly spotted with Kylie Jenner at Paris Fashion Week. She claims she was completely blindsided by that, thinking she had something real with him, while he was allegedly building a whole separate relationship at the same time. She even said, "I see these things about him dating Kylie Jenner, and I was very confused about that." She went on to say, "At first I thought it was fake news, and then I was like, maybe it's a PR thing, but now it looks like maybe they are together. I don't know, it doesn't add up." And it doesn't stop there because she added, "I miss him. I do miss him a lot because I haven't seen him in a couple of years." Girl, this whole situation is sounding messier by the second. And the wildest part is that all of this is blowing up right after that Oscars loss to Michael B. Jordan, which is only making the timing look even worse. Jordan lightly, and now the internet is treating this like the beginning of a full celebrity downfall. Because if he had just lost the award and kept it classy, maybe none of this would be hitting quite this hard right now. But once people started picking apart his reactions, reading his lips, and connecting it to all the other rumors already floating around him, it turned into a complete storm online. And let's be real, timing is everything in Hollywood. When cheating allegations, family tension, relationship drama, and public embarrassment all land at the exact same time, it becomes almost impossible to control the narrative. That's why so many people are saying this isn't just about one awkward Oscars night anymore. This is about his whole image starting to crack in front of everybody. Now the big question is whether Kylie is actually going to stick beside him through all this mess, or if this is the moment where things finally start falling apart for real. Because if these rumors keep getting louder and more people start speaking out, this situation could go from embarrassing to full-blown scandal very fast. And honestly, judging by how messy this already is, I don't think we've even seen the worst of it yet. And losing to Michael B. Jordan? Whew, that just made the whole thing look even worse. Anyway, people online definitely had a lot to say, including one person who wrote, "If you need more proof that the Kardashian curse exists, look no further." Timothée Chalamet is dating Kylie Jenner right now, and he ended up losing the Best Actor award at the Oscars. And to make things even more embarrassing, people were also pointing out that Marty Supreme reportedly went 0 for 9 in its Oscar nominations, which only gave the internet even more to clown. Another person said, "She's siphoning the life and power out of him. He was the big rising star, and there she was using him as a photo prop." Timothée Chalamet falls like a tree, but in slow motion, to the Kardashian curse. Oof, now that is harsh. But clearly people are not holding back at all. But now I want to know what you think. Do you think the Kardashian curse really got Timothée, or are people just doing way too much? And do you think this whole messy situation is a sign that he needs to end things with Kylie once and for all? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss any more messy updates. And I'll catch you in the next one.